going to 10:30 tonight. Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it's 7 years ago, but it's your 7th anniversary of being appointed manager this weekend. So you've spent like 10 minutes talking about like things that might be wrong with the team in terms of sorting issues out from one thing and another in terms of like tactics and whatever. But when you go back 7 years, the problems that you have to sort then to get Liverpool to where you wanted them to be, there must be what you've got to do now must seem small in comparison to what you had to do there. The problems, what I'm saying is the problems that you've got to face going forward aren't as big as what you had to solve when you were coming in.
Yeah, maybe. I can't remember the problems anymore. Let me go into it, and then I think, okay, what were the problems? I had no players in that week, so to train, and we had to play Tottenham at the weekend. That was a big problem, to be honest. But they came only on Wednesday and Thursday, and we played Saturday. Was it early kickoff as well?
Yeah,
of course. So that was my problem. I don't compare. It's not important. What was 7 years ago? Really not. The thing is that we have to bring in consistency. That's what I expect from us, honestly. That's it. And I know with opponents and stuff like this, it's more. You can never get guarantees for the results, and we never could. But performance level, we should start now. And actually, if you want, the last 3 games, we got 7 points. We won against Ajax, we drew against Brighton, and now we won against Rangers. I know it's not the league, but it's like 3 rather positive results, and Brighton after 2.5 weeks break, stuff like this. You can see it in 2 ways, but I'm not interested in that too much as well. But it's important that we are now a bit more in line, and let's go from here. So it's the way on the extremely high level the boys delivered in the last 3 years. It's difficult to get that all the time, but we expect it from us first and foremost to be 100% honest, and the boys do it as well. So now let's go from here.
You were asked about Darwin Nunez just at the start, really. There are improvements. What more does he need to start scoring the goals you want?
I think he said himself, he feels the pressure, these kind of things, he has to calm himself down, all these kind of things. You can see that the movements are exceptional. And if you would see him finishing in training, you would think, whoop, my God. So, but in the games, obviously, then a bit in a rush, needs to calm down just in a moment to use his full range of finishing. But it's not something, you, as a striker, just have to feel that, and then we'll go from there. So, not to change, just to keep going, actually.
Tim, last one in this section.
Is Darwin a confident person? I don't mean a confident player, he's a confident person because he's 23, he's just come over to this country, he doesn't really speak the language.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Good morning. Let's go. Yeah.
Could we sometimes forget the fact
Yeah.
10-month-old baby?
Yeah. Of course, you get it from time. He's a kid as well, how they all are in moments. But he's a confident person as well, but not a grown-up man already. We all know you can have a baby and still you have to grow still as well as a man. That's clear, but it's all fine. It's all fine. Our job is now. So obviously, people told me that. There was the headline, and I actually don't understand a word of what he's saying. Yeah, I know that. It was the same with Bobby Firmino and other players. Bobby, maybe a big part of Bobby's success was that he didn't understand a word what I said, maybe, because he did everything right without understanding me. And for Darwin, it's now slightly different. But we have a completely different situation. So he gets all the necessary informations, obviously. We have Spanish speaker in the coaching staff and in the team as well. So that's all fine. No, I understand that you asked, but I would say it's all fine. It was not a perfect start. He has a 3-game suspension, though. You cannot get rid of them. And now this is still here. So he's an aggressive player. He's emotional, but this should never happen again, and these kind of things. You are a bit in between that. There are a lot of things, and then the opponents go for him. But I really like his movements. That's really good. That's natural, and that's something we didn't have in that way before. And that's what I like, and that's why I'm sure that everything will be fine. But so far, what is the worst situation? The worst thing what can happen when you come in as a striker into a new team, that your team is not playing exceptionally well. Because you depend on the things they bring to you. So that's happened. So now we can judge two things, but we cannot. We have to judge one thing. In a moment when we perform consistently to our level and beyond, then you need a striker to finish all the situations off we create then. So that's it.
Final embargo section for our colleagues in the summer. Everything 10:30 on Saturday night. Johnny?
Jurgen, Dom's just asked today about your 7-year anniversary. Just wondered how you felt English football had changed and the challenge that you face as Liverpool Football Club. I mean, 7 years ago there was no Guardiola, Leicester were the challenges for the title. How much more difficult is it now? And thinking about Arsenal as well at the weekend, that's another top club that you face as a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, Arsenal was always there. City was always there, actually, just different. Yeah, the first year was Pellegrini, right? And then, yeah. So, change, I think, got better and better and better. It's incredible. Football really evolves, improves a lot. Yeah. I have to think about football in general. I don't. Yeah, better, quicker, more intense. I think the Premier League has now pretty much everybody in the world who is far from me. Don't want to forget anybody, but if you are one of the top managers a year later, you arrive somehow in the Premier League. That's now pretty much the case. Or you go back like Jose to Italy or Carlo to Spain. But otherwise, if you show up in a league, then the Premier League is not waiting and picks you. So it means top-class managers in the league, really, which makes life uncomfortable for all other ones then around, obviously, because the better you are coached, the better you can play. So, yeah, that's the league. It's the most. It's the best league in the world, shadow of a doubt, I would say. But that's it. I have had actually no sense at all to think about the last 7 years in the last 3 months, and that means don't know really. But I hope you're kind of happy with the answer because it hit me by surprise now.
Simon?
Do you see any similarities between the challenge that Arteta has got at Arsenal and the one you inherited at Liverpool? Big clubs, big fan base. Arsenal have been at the top for 18 years now. Fans expect them not just finishing in the top 4, but
I'm pretty sure the Arsenal fans are pretty happy with the situation they're in now and don't expect to win the title immediately. They wish. I don't know Arsenal fans, too many at least, but
do you see similarities in the job that Mikel has got on his hands to the one that you picked up when you came to Liverpool 7 years ago?
Maybe, but of course I'm not too much in the Arsenal subject, so I cannot really compare that. As I said now, everything about the team I know, and I could talk about teams they had in the last few years. I think Arsenal is a big club, no doubt about that, and we had big games against them. Especially home games were quite a lot of goals scored on both ends. These kind of things, 5-5 in a cup competition with young teams, and so it's a great club. Stands for us under our stand for a specific kind of football. Then a few changes, but then pretty quickly they found their way back, and you can see this year Arsenal again plays European League, so didn't make it last year, but now they're ready for the next step, and they have to see how they deal with all the competitions, 3-4 competitions coming up, and these kind of things. But yeah, it might be similar, but I don't really know.
Joe, then Russell.
I can't remember a long press conference like this, and Mo Salah hasn't even been mentioned.
My fault. Sorry, Mo Salah. Done.
He's been the king of the Premier League for so long, and we know he's got an ego. He's not. He admits it. He's shy. He likes the glory. And this season it's been Haaland. Do you think
No, I know it's not. Okay, sorry. Finish your question.
No, is he close to exploding again on the scene, or do you think as he gets older we just
older? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so crazy. Yeah. What are you then, by the way? If he's older with late 20s, what would you say? You are Methuselah or what? I think with Mo it's like with us. I hope we are close to explode. Let me say it like this. But it's not about... So, again, you can say whatever you want about Mo and this and that. Yeah, is it his season so far? No, like for all of us. We can pick them all out and tell me his season, no, his season, no, his season, no. Whose season was it yet from our side? Nobody's. Because we are used to a specific picture we have in our mind. That's him. Right? Human beings. So we have to make sure that the team performs on a level that everybody can be the best version of himself again. So that's the idea behind the whole thing. But with moments like this, even if goal scoring numbers are not that crazy, how often he's involved in all these the passes for Darwin now in the last game. It's just the problem is if you don't score around that, nobody appreciates that. It's like he's passing not bad actually. So then you have not scoring, losing here a ball. Yeah, but 3-4 key passes, exceptional. So as a coach in my life, it's then easier because I watch the whole game again and not only the highlights. Means I see these little things as well. So for me, it's fine. But I understand. So nobody in the world can cope with the Haaland. What is that? Situation in the moment. So it's crazy what he's doing. It's crazy. How he shook his head when he scored now the second one in the Champions League. He said, obviously I can do what I want. The ball bounced in front of my feet. But he's an exceptional player in an exceptional team. So and that obviously works pretty well together. And I don't think we should compare now in this moment anybody with that. At least I don't do that, and so it's all fine.
I agree that Salah's playing well. What I was saying is...
You just think he's a bit old.
Mo likes to think himself as the best in the top.
Yeah.
Whether he sees it as a challenge, Haaland scoring goals, I want to score goals.
He wants to score goals, definitely, desperately, 100%. That never changed. We call him in 20 years, and it will be the same. Definitely, that cannot change. But he brings himself together, and from my point of view, Mo defended, for example, against Rangers on incredibly high level. My situation of the game was when Mo, who said it now, defended half space, blah blah blah. So I'm not sure I'm talking this morning, but when Mo defended in the half space and won the ball from behind, so from the blind side and wins the ball there, that was my situation of the game. Didn't tell anybody yet. And you might not find them if you watch the game back. But it was a great situation because that showed what we had to do that day. And from that moment on, we can play football. If this team defends on highest level, we are able to play some good stuff. And that's what we have to do.
Russell, very last one, please don't mention age.
Yeah, just back to the 7th anniversary. I remember your first press conference. It was an exciting day, big fanfare. It seemed like something special at the time. 7 years on, did you ever think that you would last in a job like this 7 years? Because the Premier League is such a
I had no plans for 7 years. Let me say it like this. It was not that I thought, well, let's see. We do that now, and in 7 years we will get a reward for that. No, no, I didn't think that. But I think that press conference I mentioned 4 years. Did I say when I'm here in 4 years? Then we probably have won something, but I'm not sure if that worked out 100%, but somehow. And no, that day I was happy to survive the press conference, honestly. So that because I my English skills were really not that good, and I know I said a lot of things, and yeah, some of them people can remember, and some of them they thankfully forgot, and that's it. How it is with press conferences. Still the same today.
There was a Marilyn Monroe film, 7 Year Itch. Do you get any moments where you think to yourself, well, 7 years is long enough?
I should have done that then before I signed a new contract, didn't I? Shouldn't I? So, no, the situation in the clubs was really different. So maybe that's a little explanation. The 7-year spell is not planned or whatever. Or it's because I lost energy or these kind of things. I was a manager at Mainz, and after 3 years we got promoted to Bundesliga. 3 years later we got relegated to the second Bundesliga. We tried one more year, and the club needed a change. As players left us to the Bundesliga, we couldn't. So they needed a fresh start, definitely. It was nothing to do with. I was full of energy. I went directly to Dortmund, and it was all fine. I could have stayed there. They wanted me to stay. Nobody thought it's done. We just couldn't make the Bundesliga that year because of again fourth in the second league. Dortmund, 7 years, and it was just the situation was that constantly players got pulled out. From other clubs who left for whatever reason, and that was it was really a hard job to do, and to do that constantly, to instead of developing a team, constantly making 2 steps back. Like I ever ask you why you are not as good as last year. By the way, why are you not better than last year? By the way, would be happy we could be as good as last year. We just lost key players on different positions. So give us a bit of time. That was really intense and really exhausting. The reason why I said, okay, come on, we have to stop it here. But I actually had no energy problem, not at all. I just went, I said, okay, now I do make a year holiday, but because it was fancy that time, I think Pep did it and Thomas Tuchel did it, and I thought, why should I not make a year holiday? Let's give it a try. Couldn't do it, actually, and after 4 months I was here. So I have absolutely no problem with energy, and the situation is completely different here. I can understand that I left up 7.5 and now we are here in a difficult situation, and people take that. But if you think twice about it, then you would realize the situation is completely different. It's different. And being 7 years here is intense, no doubt about that. I got older. Everybody got older, apart from Julia. So, but you got really a lot older there, and that's time. But it's nice as well. I got so many things back, and which gives you a boost and these kind of. That's where we are now. Yes, this is a difficult time. Did I think before the season we will be, I don't even know, 9th or whatever after match day 7? No, because I don't think about these kind of things. But now this is the basis we are. Now let's go from here. And if there's one club who has a chance to go through it together, it's us. You don't have to do it always the same way like all the others. I know with 1 point more, Chelsea sacked Thomas Tuchel. It was funny. In Germany, Tuchel got sacked with 10 points and Klopp stays in the job with 9 points. So I don't have to ask me why that's the case, but it's just we have the chance still to create something really special here. From this point, does it look in a moment we will be champion at the end of the year? Unfortunately not. But in all other competitions, we are not out yet, and we are not, and nobody knows where we'll end up in the league. So let's give it a go. That's it. Difficult, yes. Impossible, no. That's enough. Let's go from here.
Thank you, everyone.
See ya.
Cheers. Thank you.